We took no heed of the warnings, and yes, we were warned. As COVID-19, a coronavirus, sweeps through our world stands still, helpless, in the face of a faceless enemy. The virus has infected millions, shattered lives, destroyed families, and turned bustling megacities into empty ghost towns. And this is just the beginning. Our elected leaders, the people we entrust to safely take us into the future, have no answers except to wait and let Mother Nature take its course. But they were not prepared for the force and fury of Mother Nature. Though she warned us in the past, she warned us not to corrupt the lands, not to encroach further on wildlife, because the wild bites back. And she bit back with many warnings with other coronaviruses, called corona because of the crown-shaped needles on their heads. Needles they use to invade our lung cells, multiplying, destroying, eventually suffocating us from the very air we breathe. She warned us, but we took no heed of the warnings. She warned us in 2003 by SARS, and she warned us in 2012 by MERS, warning us with other coronaviruses. But we took no heed of the warnings. Instead, we desecrated lands that do not belong to us, chopping down more and more rainforests for cheap land, bringing us in contact with more wildlife, with more invisible enemies, with more viruses. We took no heed of the warning. Instead, we as humans caged animals in inhumane conditions, caging wildlife in suffocating conditions, witnessing as viral diseases pass from one animal to the other, mutating, morphing, preparing, until they're ready to infect us. We took no heed of the warnings. Instead, we made man-made threats, fighting over nation, race, and religion. We engaged in petty wars, but remained disengaged from the truth, as we inflicted needless suffering upon countless, faceless, innocent lives. No, we took no heed of the warnings. Instead, we continued to disrupt the Earth's natural balance, making it ideal for new viral life. And now the time has come to pay the price. The ancients called Mother Earth Gaia, a living being composed of other living beings, collectively conscious and aware of her dominion, a dominion in which she preserves a careful balance and wipes out entire species that disrupt it. And as a species, have we disrupted the balance she so carefully preserved? The Earth is billions of years old and ever-changing, but she changes slowly, carefully, naturally, evolving, conscious of the life in her realms, conscious of preserving the natural balance. But just in the last century, with our modern powers, we've acidified the oceans, polluted the skies, and inflicted needless suffering on countless species, including our own, disrupting the balance she so carefully preserved. We don't know what our worlds will be like once Mother Nature has finished expressing her fury, but we do know for certain that the warning she has given us will be our last. Deep within our jungles lurk deadlier diseases, more dangerous than the ones we have seen. And if we continue to disrupt the natural balance, she will restore the balance without us. So the question is clear. Will we continue to take the rights of wildlife, which too have a right to life? Will we remain oblivious to their rights? And will we remain oblivious to our own natures, the power we have been given, and the responsibility we have? The responsibility we have to Mother Earth and her people because of the nature of our interdependence and the power we have been given to decide our destiny. The power of our modern world lies in our interdependence. A truth made terrifyingly clear through this catastrophe. Just as blood courses through our veins, nourishing our very cells, so does trade course through global networks, nourishing our very lives and lifestyles, forming the lifeblood of the global economy. But as the flow of this blood is interrupted by the virus, the once mighty global economy is brought to its knees, as we see our global tribes suffering, as we see millions lose their jobs and many lose their lives, as we see the shops run dry and the streets become silent, and as we are sent into silent isolation, we are forced to confront our own reflections. But when we stare into our reflections, we see the haunting image of the virus staring back. And then the horrible truth becomes clear, that we have behaved like a virus on Earth, suffocating Mother Earth. And now that we have been stopped, Mother Earth is breathing. Her skies are clearing, her waters are renewing, and wildlife is returning back, as Mother Earth finally takes a breath. And as she breathes, she shows us that just as a virus suffocates our breath, we have been suffocating her from breathing. She has shown us, and she has silenced us in sight of our own reflections. And as we sit in silent reflection, trying to make sense of the surreality amongst the senselessness, we see the answer is right before our eyes, hidden in plain sight, hidden in human nature, as we see both the best and worst of humanity during these times. And it is then that the message from the wisdom traditions of the past becomes clear. Wisdom traditions from all across the world who have said the same thing about our nature and our destiny. That we as human beings are capable of great good as well as great evil. We can create hell on earth, as we have seen, but we can also create heaven. We are suspended uniquely between the divine and the demonic. Or as the ancient Cherokees would say, the two wolves. The tale of the two wolves is a tale that tells us of our natures and the power we have to change our future. In a troubled time, long forgotten, wars raged across the Americas. So the wise elder gathered all the tribal chieftains together and warned them about the war within. There are two wolves warring within you, he said, and the winner will decide your destiny. So pay attention to the two wolves warring within, because at stake is your very future. Who are these two wolves? Asked one of the tribal chieftains. The elder replied by saying, one is a spirit of darkness and depression. He is aggressive and cunning, arrogant and greedy, deceptive and self-absorbed. The other is a spirit of light and hope. He is compassionate and wise, humble and generous, truthful and selfless. He is strong, but he is not aggressive. He is tender, but he is not weak. Which wolf will win? Asked one of the tribal chieftains. And the elder replied by saying, the one you choose to feed, because only you have the power of choice. And now we are confronted with the power of choice. Which one will we feed?